So you didn't waste your time.
Or if you just let me have, like, get my hands on it, that would be helpful too. You're live.
Yes, I am. Welcome in, everybody. My name is T-Dub, and this is T-Dub Specials, my YouTube channel.
Right there's where you'll see any chats that come in.
Oh, yeah.
So put it where you can see it. Yeah, I would put it maybe. I would think.
Yeah, that's fine. There we go. All right. So I'm also live on TikTok, and I say I'm live on TikTok. I'm going live now. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in. Grab a seat, grab a bucket of popcorn. Let's get the conversation started, guys. It's not that bad, right? What's going on, Jason? You doing all right? Uh-oh, somebody threw me a like on my YouTube. What's up, Slick Willie? What's happening, man? Dude, it's amazing. Okay, thank you for the heart me, bro. I'm not going to dox you right here, bro. But I had no idea you were you. It's funny how on this app we all use we're so our names are so ambiguous because we don't know who some of these people are. Like there are people that I literally went to high school with who have been in my live streams, and I had zero clue who they were. Had no idea. Oh, thanks for the likes. By the way, guys, I'm also live on my YouTube. If you guys want to follow me over there in case I get bananaed here, I'm going to start going live on there. So, how's everybody doing today? It's been a busy day for us. Been a busy day for me. I worked nearly 12 hours today. Same username, yeah. Same username, absolutely. T-Dub Specials. And look, this whole YouTube thing's new for me. So, hey, Ragnarok. Ragnarok, she's a hot chick. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Hey, Gigi, from Maryland. Wow, Gigi, I am actually in the great state of Arkansas. I've been, like I say, I've been all over, but as I've gotten older, I just settled back here, you know. Things do not appear to be better up north. Yeah, I don't think so. What's up, man? Florida girl dad, how are you today? You know what? I have I don't know that I've been to Maryland, to be honest with you. Do I know belt buckle? Oh, that's funny. Now, Florida, everybody's been to Florida, right? Everybody's been to Florida, right? Gigi, you've been to Florida, right? I think everybody has. Is Belt Buckle Bob real? So, we've got an issue going on right now with our weather. I was scrolling through memories on the book of Faces the other day, and uh, is the Earth round? Yeah, Earth's round. Do you want to argue that? Do you want to argue flat Earth? Florida, of course you are. Nikki, if I didn't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't believe that the Earth is flat. Do you believe that the Earth is flat, Al Bundy? That's what I want to know. And look, I'm not going to make fun of you if you believe that the Earth is flat. I find that to be an exceptionally interesting theory that people have. South Dakota, beautiful state. Oh, dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, it was the deregulation that's going on, and the deregulation actually stems from all the way back to Lewis Powell and his Powell Manifesto that he wrote in the late 60s. He was an associate Supreme Court justice, but before he was sworn in, he wrote this mandate. This his memorandum, I think, is what he actually called it. And what's crazy about that is, hey, I've had 2 views on my YouTube. Yeah, one of them wasn't my wife. This guy. What's up? The Continuum podcast.
Hot damn.
Heck yeah.
Oh shit.
Windmills caused ugly planets. I guess so, man. No, it's the deregulation. They don't like regulation because, that's how we prevent monopolies. That's how we protect American citizens from corporations. It's that bureaucracy that is the shield that protects American citizens from corporations. And the Heritage Foundation was huge proponents, based off of Lewis Powell's manifesto, that we needed to. I got a flash goal. Hold on, this is early. All right. It was that Lewis Powell. He hated regulation on corporations. He thought that was unnecessary. I find regulations to be extremely necessary, because politics affects every aspect of our lives, guys. It affects the cars you drive. It affects the roads you drive on. It affects the foods you eat, the medicine, the care that you get. So, if when you hear people say that I don't get involved in politics, then that's not your troll account. It is not. um, when you hear people say that I don't get involved in politics, well, that's okay. Politics is like Bill Cosby. Either we fucking or I'm fucking. You know what I mean? Like, politics is going to have a part in your life. Um,
You're so zoomed in on
I'm what? Oh, you can't see me. It's because I turned my hat around backwards, or the right way. My wife wants me to turn my hat around backwards. She thinks I look more debonair when I do that. Yeah, we've got to start regulating this AI stuff, because there's no, we can't let a technology source of that nature be unfettered. You have to be able to, you have to be able to control that. It has to have regulations on it. We can't just turn this loose willy nilly out into the wild,
Now I can just see the top of your head.
Bell 44, I agree with you. Well, executive producer, get over here and executively produce. Maybe we need to zoom that camera out a little bit.
I don't know how. It works on its own.
Muse. See, here we go. You're trying to separate us by party again, and that's not helpful to anyone. We need people who think differently from one another in order to have a difficult conversation. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's not comfortable. It's not always comfortable to talk to somebody who disagrees with you, but it's necessary. That's how progress is made. That's how we get better as a society. Is by discussing things with people that we disagree on. And although people can get in their feelings and everything, it is indicative of a society to be able to progress. John Wooden, one of the best basketball coaches of all time, said, if everybody's thinking the same thing, then nobody's thinking. And you guys have heard me say this so many times in my live streams, but it's true. We need people who think differently. Well, Muse, I'm not a Democrat either, but I'm not a Republican either. You're face is so kissable. Waffles, you're gonna make me blush. That's crazy. Don't hype me up like that. Because it's not about party right now. Right now, it's about top versus bottom. I was against a lot of the things that Obama did. I was against some of the things that Biden did. However, it doesn't mean that right now I'm disagreeing with just about everything that Donald Trump says and does. Why? Because I look at it as lunacy. I look at it as inhumane, the treatment and just the lackluster way in which he continues to troll and speak. It's rich versus everyone else. Yeah. Yeah, Slick McGee. And we should be, you can like a president and still disagree with him. The one thing about it though is, holy crap, guys, I've got 4 viewers over here.
Oh snap!
I'll be dag up, guys. By the way, I'm live on my YouTube. This is the only the third time I've ever done that. So if you guys want to come over there and chat with me, you can. Well, Muse, I mean, you can say that. However, we have to look at it from, I feel like a big issue that we have are people that look at things and they look at things from just a black or white perspective. There's nuance to everything. My YouTube is in my link tree. If you guys would follow my YouTube, that would make me a very happy man. I've only got like 70 something subscribers like now. I would really like to beef those numbers up if at all possible. Well, and the thing about that is I don't care if you're I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. Instead of just walking in and blindly voting for someone because the letter beside their name, I would prefer that we go in and actually start vetting these people, seeing. I haven't. I haven't. He didn't tell you. He showed you. I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm just saying that we need to research our candidates. My biggest criteria on that is who is funding their campaign. That's the first thing I look at. Because I'll tell you something that's going to disqualify somebody real quick. I'm going to give you real good clue on that. Tom Cotton received $1.5 million from AIPAC. Do you think he gives two squirrely fucks about Arkansans right now? No. Guys, we need to get the money out of politics. Do you know who I platform on my podcast when I do panels? I platform candidates who are running that are either grassroots or an open source candidate. Casey, I don't believe he is. Where did you get this Epstein Island? I didn't know. Is that like you said Epstein Island? Is it like a resort to where they're getting profits? I'm telling you, to be honest, we really don't have all the information. We don't have hardly any of the information in regards to Epstein, and there's a reason that we don't. And another thing is we're not going to get that information. That information could destroy so many political careers on either side of the aisle. Absolutely either side of the aisle. And it would for me as well. And if I were innocent and I truly believed in all the things that your Lord and Savior Donald Trump says, then I would be like, dear Donnie, release the fucking files. But he won't release them. I don't know how you can say that. I mean, Donald Trump has Look, and I'm not just trying to use Donald Trump as an example, but he's a great example to use because look at his net worth before he took office in last January, and then look at how much how much net worth he has now. The camera angle is great for your hair. My beard, I should have trimmed my beard up a little bit. Yeah, and to be honest with you guys, I would love nothing more than to see this two-party system fall. Why? Because the two-party system is dividing the shit out of us. And they want it to divide us. They want us fighting over, oh, well, all the Democrats are bad, all the Republicans are evil, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. There's nuance. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. He was a billionaire before, but he's doubled his wealth since he's taken office. They also have an issue with him selling presidential pardons for cryptocurrency. The $3 billion that he's made since he's gotten in office, not to mention the fact that Elon Musk went to be almost he's almost at a trillionaire level right now. What about Obama? You say you're not a Democrat, but you sure act like it. Well, I mean, look, you say you're not a fascist, right? I mean, just because I am left leaning, I do believe, I do have empathy, I do have a little bit of intelligence, and I do believe that, you know, I believe that all persons are allowed due process of law. There's a lot of things that I do that probably a lot of Democrats also feel as well. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I am. Ooh, my camera person is working. I mean, look at all the money that it needs to come down some.
Yeah.
Look at all the money that Elon made. Hey, you can see my feet. I didn't know it was going to be this kind of broadcast. Look at all the money that Elon made through the government contracts that he got rid of for other people under Doge and then took over himself, set up for his company. Do we not see the hypocrisy in that? And then again, we're talking about a president who is literally pardoning all kinds of people for profit. So what about Obama? What do y'all want me to say about Obama? What is it about Obama that you got he's doing right now that's just killing us? I mean, look what Obama did to Gaddafi. We could talk about that if y'all want to talk about some stuff.
Don't touch it.
I'm not touching it. Hey Becca, we're actually on the Arkansas-Oklahoma border. Like I could step out my front door, hurl a rock, and get pretty close to Oklahoma at this point. Hey, Living Plucky. And the other thing about paying ICE all this money, we got to think about so let's agree that we have an issue with a crisis with immigration. Let's say that, right? So we've got a lot of people coming in and we're having a hard time getting them processed, you know? And I'm talking about not everyone that's here undocumented is here illegally, because we do have asylum seekers and things of that nature. And when we talk about asylum seekers, you also have to look at the fact that why is it that we have certain asylum seekers coming here? Because the United States has a terrible foreign policy, and they have had a terrible foreign policy for the past, I don't know, 80 years. We'll say that. Look at the amount of regime changes that the United States has embarked upon that have blown up in not necessarily our face, but the country with which they have done that to. You ask yourself, why do we have so many Haitian refugees? Well, maybe it's because ever since the Haitians revolted against the French, Western society has had their boots on their neck. And so every time they elect a leader, Every time that they elect a duly elected leader, we'll go in and do a regime change. They will. And what does that cause? Instability causes more destruction for a country. If there's not defined leadership, if there's not, hey, thank you. If there's not defined leadership, and if they can't just relax a little bit and let the waves settle, then it's just going to be tumultuous the entire time. And the more tumultuosity that they have, the worse off the people are. We need to leave people alone. We need to stop overthrowing leaders of sovereign nations. Millions of unknown, undocumented sleeper cell terrorists. And see, I think you're reading some propaganda. I think you're reading a lot of fear mongering. The biggest terrorist of this country that I see right now is sitting in the Oval Office. Instead of, so we're agreeing on some things, right? So we had a lot of people come over, right? And so did we have the infrastructure to deal with the amount of people that came over? Probably not. Hola. Well, we probably didn't. So what would be a good thing to do? Would it be smarter to invest in that infrastructure or just create a small army to fight the invasion, as they like to call it? What would have been actually smarter would have been not to fire federal immigration judges. Instead, you should bolster that infrastructure to where they can process the paperwork and make sure that the people who are supposed to be getting in here can get in here, and the people that aren't can get out as well. Hey, 3 people watching now. We're growing. Heck yeah. So, guys, just in case y'all didn't know, I'm live on my YouTube. If anybody wants to go over there and spam me with some comments you can't get away with on TikTok. So, I am on the tube of you. Yes. I'll go. Thanks, Kate. So I feel like there's a tone of racism there, and maybe not racism, just a little bit of you're scared. Maybe you're indoctrinated by Ronald Camus's book, The Great Replacement, where you fear that persons of color of the Islamic faith are trying to take over white European Christian men's places of power. And the question that I would have to ask you to that is exactly why do you think that white Christian men are the only ones that are privy to positions of authority and power? What is it that makes you think that? Why does it scare you when another? Because let me tell you something, out of the Abrahamic faiths, all of them can be terrible if they're taken to the wrong extreme. I would love it if the white Christian nationalist would stay the fuck out of my government. I would love it if people would realize that this is a secular nation. This was set up as a secular nation. That is why. That is absolutely why we have a lot of the issues that we have today. I don't mind you being a Christian. That doesn't bother me at all. No, this nation was not founded on Christianity. And I would reference you back to the Treaty of Tripoli in 1797, where John Adams wrote, and go to Article 11, chapter, or the first paragraph. The United States is not and has never been founded on the Christian religion. It says that, and it was signed by him. So, I mean, look, and here's the thing. I don't mind having this discussion with you guys. It's just you're going to have to bring some facts that prove to me that that you are, one, more read than I am on this subject, and two, that you have actual evidence, because you don't, outside of the fact that you say, well, you'll probably come at me with something like, God, I don't know. Well, the 13 colonies, you had to be a Christian in order to be that. Yes, those were the 13 colonies. Those weren't the 13 states. Well, I have seen the borders the past 4 years. So what do you mean by that? What are you saying like that? Thank you, SB. I saw you over here. Hey guys, by the way, I'm also live on the Tube of You. If you guys want to come in, and hey, Sarah, I see you made it over there. Thank you. Yeah, why would they put freedom of religion? Now, if you listen to the Christian nationalist rhetoric, and I'm talking about, we can talk about the Heritage Foundation. Oh, thank you for that. I like those glasses. I don't think I've ever gotten those sunglasses. If we can go back to the Heritage Foundation, or we can get into other Christian nationalist organizations, we can get into the ones that were based off of the Seven Mountain Mandate. And the Seven Mountain Mandate goes back to the book of Revelations, where it talks about the seven heads of the beast and all that. But in that, and they all are kind of rowing in the same direction, right? Um, Yeah, you believe everyone has free will, but you also believe that God has a plan. So, what is it? Do you have free will, or does God have a plan? Because I promise you this, if God has a plan, there's no way He's going to let Billy Bob down the street fuck it up by making the wrong choice. So, do you really have free will, or does God have a plan? Because you can't have both. Who's trying to get you kicked, Casey? I'm not trying to get you kicked. I'm enjoying our conversation. You are free, and you have God. What does that mean specifically? Thanks. Oh, okay. All right, Casey. I was like, woo. I'm just saying, I think that's something that we need to look at if we're going to talk about free will versus God having a plan. Your freedom is God. Woo. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up on these comments over here on YouTube. Guys, if y'all would do me a favor, every now and then just chime in on YouTube a little bit, get me some viewership. I've had 12 people view my YouTube, and I love you guys for that. Y'all are great. No, see, I was a Christian the vast majority of my life. I would say the first half of my life, I was a Christian. I studied, and I prayed, and I studied, and everything. And I was absolutely just, I was on fire for Jesus, if you will. Um, but yeah, the more I studied, the more I realized that there were a lot of things in there that did not make sense. And then when I would ask a pastor about it, or a religious leader or somebody like that, they would say, well, it's not, our brains are too small. And I'm like, I hate to tell you, bro, but I got a pretty good brain. I think I can handle this info.
You don't have to believe. You don't have to read the Bible to believe in God. What the?
You don't have to. Did somebody say that?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to believe in. You don't have to read the Bible to believe in God. I believed in Santa Claus before I could read.
I was gonna say, but how do you know who God is if you don't read the Bible?
But how do you know which God it is that you're
Right.
doing? Are you just going on the word of somebody else?
Exactly. You just listen to. Sorry.
I haven't lost my way. I found my way. I'll be honest with you, it's a lot harder of a conversion to go from being raised in a Free Will Baptist church on one side and a holiness Pentecostal church on the other side of your family, and to sit there and go, ugh, guys, I just can't buy this stuff. And to be true to yourself. So, Muse, you said you're not a Christian, right? Nice. And look, guys, if you're a Christian, I'm not in here trying to make you mad. People are asking me questions. I'm just giving you my perspective on it. Oh, Ronald, you're not mad. No, I mean, I get what you're saying there, Muse. Hey, Lightning Thief, what's up, man? Yeah, look, hey, thanks for coming in, Casey. And look, we may not agree on everything, but dude, I'm always down to have a chat. Just because we don't agree doesn't mean we're enemies. You're still my neighbor, and I'd still help you out. If you had a flat on the side of the road, I'm not going to pull up and say, "Did you vote for Donald Trump?" Then I'm not helping you out. I wouldn't do that. Are you a Christian? I'm not helping you out. I wouldn't do that. I could continue them, but I'm not. I'm not into that either. So yeah, look. Have a good night, Casey. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for playing along. I appreciate it. There are a lot of bad things out in this world, guys. There are, and I don't think. I honestly don't think that religion helps us to fight or thwart the bad things that are going on in the world. I think what it actually does is it creates a sense of tribalism where people say, "Well, I'm not," I mean, we fought so many wars just over who was worshiping what God, you know? Yeah. Is your name Flatty P? I'm sorry. I'm trying to read that. It kind of gets Flat Top 56. Okay, for some reason, from where I'm getting old, guys, I'm nearing 50, but I was sitting there and I was like, did his name say Flatty P? I would love to end tribalism. I would love to break these echo chambers, these bubbles that we have. Look, I don't hate you because you voted for Donald Trump. I don't hate anyone, but what I do despise, what I loathe, what I abhor is seeing people being mistreated. And it doesn't matter to me what race, what gender, what who they love, anything like that. I don't like seeing people being disenfranchised, and I see a lot of that right now. Continuum, you're killing me over there. Yeah, and guys, the battle isn't. Look, I get why people are taken by Donald Trump. I do. The propaganda that has been fed to all of us, regardless of the side that you're on, and we have to be independent of that. We have to be able to step away and discern between fact and fantasy. And all of the things, and I promise you, from my perspective, all of the things that I see, I season my chicken. It's Rachel that doesn't because she's Danish. My wife's Danish and she doesn't season food very well. He doesn't want us to eat. I don't want to eat scientific lab meat either. but I also don't want to put our cattle farmers out of business and prop up Argentina meat as well. And look, guys, when Donald Trump was elected, I didn't immediately go, "Oh, I just hate him. Everything he does is bad." No, I gave him about a month. I did. Um, Salt is not a seasoning. Yeah, T-Dub specials. I think that's what it is. Rachel, can you pin that again, please? Um, T-Dub's specials, yes. He still has concepts of a plan. Thank you, SB. I appreciate it. Muse, I'm going to ask you this. Name me a Republican leader that is not taking money from a PAC. Name me a Republican leader who is not getting money from, a corporate sponsorship. Name me a a Republican leader that is not making money on the stock market, and we can go person for person and see. Democratic fraud. What? Look, I'm not a supporter of the Democratic Party. I want both of these parties to to go away. We need more than two parties in this country. We're not talking about trillions of dollars here, bro, on anything. Yeah, I'm with that. I think Trump should be impeached. I absolutely do. I don't think he's fit for office. Because for every Democratic leader that you can name that has been making millions of dollars on the stock market, on insider trading deals, and all that, I can name you Republicans the same amount that are doing the same thing, because it's not left versus right. We have to be discriminate about who we put in charge of us. We have to be better voters. We have to be better educated voters. And as long as you still sit there and are going, okay, well, it's all the bad things are because of the Republicans, or all the bad things are because of the Democrats, you're doing all of us a disservice. Mark Wayne Mullins in Oklahoma. Thank you, Instigator. These corporations, these super PACs like APAC, don't give two rat shits about who is. DK, I am too, because they're all involved here. They are. You get a Democratic president, he's got the House and the Senate for the first 2 years, and that's the way the cycle's kind of been for a while now. Because politics, guys, with a two-party system's just a pendulum, and it swings, right? And that's all it does. It just swings. And it'll go left, and then it'll swing back right. And it'll swing back left, and swing back right. And the whole time, guess what happens? They don't get a goddamn thing done that's going to help us, that's going to help you and I. You know what they are going to do, though? They're going to press for things like, I'll go back to Reagan. Getting rid of the fairness doctrine created a big chasm in American society, because, yeah, Instigator, no shit. That's why I platform Jasmine Thomas. That's why I platform her. Why? Because she is a grassroots candidate. And I'll tell you what, guys, if we want to make these changes, like Mark B just said, we need term limits. We do. How do we do that? we start putting people into office who share our same values and don't lie to us, Tom Cotton, and say that they share our values. Tom Cotton's a farmer. Bullshit. I saw that motherfucker try to mount a horse. He ain't no goddamn farmer. Tom Cotton received $1.5 million from AIPAC. We have to stop voting down party lines. We have to start voting for people who will work for the people. And if we want to get people in there, look, I have platformed Anthony DeRibas, who is an open source candidate. I have platformed Bernard Taylor, who is down in Florida. He is a grassroots candidate. All of these people are running. Winston Jordan up in New Jersey. Winston Jordan is running as an open source candidate. And if you don't know what an open source candidate is, it's a non-affiliated they're not affiliated to either party. They're not independents. They're not Democrats. They're not Republicans. You know what they are? They're Americans who think that it's time to get money out of politics. Because let's be honest with you guys, with the age of social media, with the technological advantages that we have this day, who's really watching legacy TV anymore? Who's really watching that? People might watch a football game. Do you really have to spend that much money on a campaign to put signs up and all that other stuff when you can? The best advertisement for you, the best political strategy for you is to get people talking about you, to get people talking. That's how you do it. And what better opportunity to do that than on apps like this, or the Book of Faces, or Instagram, or YouTube, or whatever it is. If you have a message and you have a platform, you're going to get noticed. You're going to get eyes on you. People are going to know. If what you stand for is for the American people are going to know this. All right. Crazy Jess, is that it? Is that what I said? Yeah. Crazy Jess, listen, look up Winston Jordan for Congress, and it'll explain. His website is beautiful, guys. If you don't know what an open source candidate is, go to Winston Jordan for Congress. And very intelligent man. I've had him on my panel several times. Super great guy. And what open source candidates are, they cap the amount of money that they can take through donations or through fundraisers at $5,000. $5,000. This guy's running a very successful campaign right now. You know why? Nobody wants to debate an open source candidate because those guys aren't affiliated with the party. If you are elected as a Democrat, even if you are a grassroots candidate, or if you are elected as a Republican, you have to toe that party line. I would never sully myself to be considered a Democrat or a Republican, period, point blank. Because my oath was to a constitution. It wasn't to a party, because these political parties are not part of government. They are not part of the government, guys. Oh, hey, real quick, guys, time out. Just to let y'all know, I don't ask for gifts or anything. The only thing that I would appreciate is if you guys don't mind smashing that like button for me. I like likes. There's a lot to like about a like. If you guys could like the live for me, if you enjoy what I'm saying, I would greatly appreciate that. I'd like to say, I put gift goals up there just because, yeah, whatever. If you want to gift me, I very much appreciate it, but I would never ask you for gifts. I'm not up here to grift you. This is completely free to you. We can have conversations. Just throw me some likes up there so that I can stay within in the algorithm, okay? Also, if you guys have a mind to, you could go check out my YouTube. I'm streaming live right now, and I'm doing a terrible job of talking to the people there. And I am much better looking on TikTok, by the way, than I am on YouTube. But if y'all wanted to check me out there. Hey, what's up? Eli, Big Daddy. What's up, man? I ain't seen you for a while.
You're dropping, and I wonder if it's because of all the plugging on YouTube.
Oh, it could have been. I have been plugging this a lot.
That's good, though.
I like likes. Tito 2026. I do. I like money. But anyway, no, we have to be diligent, guys. We have to get people in office that want to work for us, that have a desire to be true public servants. We need term limits. We absolutely 100% need term limits. But we're never going to get that when we have octogenarians and nonagenarians that are still running, still in the House of Representatives. Why are we electing 80-year-old people? They are making decisions to which they will never have to live through the consequences. What color do I think Jesus was? I don't. So if Jesus were a real person, he would be very brown. Very brown. Hey, Eli, look, man, it's fine. I get it. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to have a conversation with you. And if one of our minds gets changed, then so be it, you know? That's fine. It's not my job to do that. The only thing that I'm up here trying to do is I'm preaching a couple of messages. First and foremost, my first message is Christian nationalism is bad for America. Do I really? Okay. I don't know who that is. My second message is we have to stop going straight down party lines. It doesn't benefit any of us, guys. Not a one of us. At no point in time do we benefit by blindly walking into a voting booth and just voting based on a letter beside somebody's name. You know what I mean? I don't. There's no thinking involved. It's easy. You go in. Wages are higher in blue states.
You sit still. You're messing the camera up on YouTube.
Yeah, guys, if we could get to 60K likes, that'd be cool. We are divided. I'm trying to bring us back together, guys. The only way that we're going to do that is stop this party politics stuff. Party politics is so mid 2000 and aughts, you know? It is. Let's get over it. Let's get over ourselves. Let's realize that the people that we have poorly chosen, because it's our fault. We've poorly chosen the people that are running the show right now. It is all on us. But it is on us to fix it as well. So we see that we have a problem here. I have a lot of people in this comment section that hate Democrats. And I have a lot of people in this comment section that love Democrats. I love Americans, guys. My fight isn't with you. My fight is with the people that we entrusted to watch out for the betterment of us. My fight is with the wealthy aristocracy that thinks that it's perfectly okay that we use our taxpayer funds to supplement Israel with universal health care and free education. I didn't vote on that. Did y'all vote on that? Did y'all vote on how much money goes to Israel? Because I didn't vote for that, and I never have supported that. Israel, if they're such a great nation, should be able to stand on their own. And that's from a military standpoint, and that's also from a financial standpoint. This whole rhetoric of we have to support Israel no matter what, well, let me tell you something. We don't. It's not biblical that we support Israel. It's not. And a lot of Christian nationalists would have you think that, but it's not true. Because if Israel was biblical, if this was the nation of Israel from the biblical, scriptures, then guess what? Bibi Netanyahu would have a prophet, and he doesn't. It's true. All you have to do is read the Bible and have a comprehension of the stories that were told in there. Eli, I'd like for you to do a little more research on the Somali thing. Shane Pittman. Pinson. Shane Pinson. My bad, dude. No, man, I don't want anybody of us to fight. Look, we should be able, though, to have a good conversation. We should be able to have open discord and dialogue. That's 100% what we should be doing again, is talking with one another and realizing that these massive transfers of wealth, I don't understand why conservative people um, these guys are roasting me over here on TikTok, guys. If y'all ever get over here, it's pretty funny stuff. YouTube, yeah, I'm sorry. We can't be defending the rich. We can't, because those are the ones that are tearing this nation apart. They want us divided because while we're fighting each other over, you know, uh, just some of the most pettiest shit ever, they have both hands in our pockets, just fleecing the shit out of us. They are. And look, I'll be quite honest with you guys. It bothers me. It bothers me that people on one side of the aisle are against children having free lunch at school when that might be the only healthy meal or a reasonable meal that they get throughout the course of that day. Still yet, they'll bitch at those same parents because they're on SNAP benefits, even though they're working a full-time wage, but won't say two diddly shits about that same company getting taxpayer money. They don't say shit about corporate welfare. Well, let me tell you something. We wouldn't be paying as many people in SNAP benefits if those corporations were forced to pay a livable wage. Well, that would just make the costs go up. Yeah, well, people can then choose because that's what, isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that what our economy is all about? It's capitalism. We are slowly shrinking down to where we're going to have 3 or 4 monopolies throughout the entire country. And guess what? They can charge you whatever they want for whatever they want. Because if you have monopolies, then you have nowhere else to go. It's just like your cable provider or your internet provider, right? If you're in a rural area, you might have one option. And guess what? They're expensive because they know you got to use them because they don't have any competition. Oh, what did that guy say? I saw somebody just block somebody. Jimmy got deported? Okay. I'll get the rundown. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I don't read the comments. So, um, you look like you forget where you put snakes. Oh, was he trying to get me flagged? Okay, I got you. Thank you for the deportation. I appreciate it. And guys, look, I'm not trying to enrage you guys. I'm not trying to rage bait you to be angry. I'm just trying to make us all think a little bit, you know? Thank you, SB. And it is bad in Minnesota, and I feel for the people there. I do. I feel I feel for the family of the victim um, and victims. Guys, ICE is scary. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not up here trying to fearmonger, and I'm not trying to tell you that, the world is coming to an end because I don't believe it is, but I will tell you what I do think is coming to an end. Civil society. I think civil society has hit its rope or hit the end of its rope, and it's about to get really ugly. Because if we can't resolve this stuff peacefully, it will end violently. period, point blank. And I don't mean to sound like I'm fear mongering, but it's true. We have to be able to be mature enough to have a conversation with someone we disagree with. We have to stop saying that all of blah, blah, blah is evil. We have to stop going into these little echo chambers and just saying, oh, well, these guys are all terrible. Guys, we're all Americans. We're all on the same team. We are. Big problem right now is there are two Americas in this world. And I didn't realize it until the murder of Renee Nicole Good. There are two Americas. Unfortunately, and look, I don't get on the Book of Faces very often because every time I get on the Book of Faces, I get angry. And I get angry at people that I don't want to be angry with. I get angry at people who I've known to be good people for a vast majority of my life, and then to see them cheering on the atrocities that I feel are going on. And look, and it's not just me. It's just when I joined the Army, guys, I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I did also swear an oath to follow the orders of the officers appointed above me and the President of the United States. But there was a caveat at the end of that, and I think a lot of people have pushed past that. Within regulation and according to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. That is the hook right there. Because although I did swear an oath to follow orders, those orders are superseded by my oath to the Constitution. And when you look at what's going on here, we blatantly have a president that is attacking the First Amendment using the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, who wrote the FCC portion in Project 2025. He wrote that. You can look it up. It's on the internet. He's there. It'll tell you every author. I've got a chart that tells me the author of the certain aspect of 2025 and their role in the current administration today. Mark Kelly was absolutely justified. Donald Trump couldn't hold Mark Kelly's jockstrap. Donald Trump is a 5-time deferred draft dodger. Mark Kelly is a lifelong public servant with honor. And then Pete, hold my beer, whatever, is like, I'm gonna have him court-martialed. Go ahead, dude. You're an affectation of masculinity. You don't even know what masculinity is actually all about. You think masculinity is belittling others. You think masculinity is walking around pounding your fucking chest. That's not what it is. True masculinity is being a beacon of light for others to get behind in times of trouble, of trying to help people out. And you know what? You don't have to be a man to have those qualities. You absolutely do not. But I would prefer all persons not have the qualities of Pete Kegsbreath, you know? Yeah. Look, I've got a buddy. His name's Gunny Speaks Out, right? He was there at the Heritage Foundation Church. Gunny's a former Marine. Gunny's a bad motherfucker. He really is. He rode his motorcycle up there to the Heritage Foundation Church where Pete Hegseth was going to be. And it just so happened there was a lot of people out there protesting him. Gunny's doing good. I actually texted him, was it yesterday or day before yesterday when I was talking to Gunny? What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, it was yesterday. No, it was Sunday when I was talking to him. And he's doing good. He's out of the hospital. He had to have his gallbladder taken out and some of that stuff. But yeah, he wouldn't even, He wouldn't even get out of his car because all the people were there ready to protest him. As someone who served in the military, when I saw him get up and give these generals, admirals, I'm talking about your 08s and your 09s officer level, and gave them tongue lashing, I just started laughing because their silence was deafening. These are men who have led men with honor. Soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, with honor. They don't give a fuck about what Pete frat boy said. They don't care. They don't care because everybody knows that he's out. He's in deeper water than he can handle. No, he thought they were being super respectful. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I 100% believe he understood their silence. He knew what that was. He was intimidated. Oh, that is going to bite him in the ass. You know why that's going to bite him in the ass? I mean, the dude wasn't even in, 90 days before he had Signalgate? Yeah. And to get up and after we have seized a sovereign nation's leader and say they effed around and found out just shows his maturity level. He's not a serious person. He's not a serious person at all. Because if he was a serious person, he would understand the implications of getting up and the amount of lives that were going to be impacted by the decisions of Dementia Dawn. He would know that, and he would understand that. He would understand the levity of the situation, but he doesn't. He doesn't understand that because he still thinks it's about being cool and owning people. Thank you for that. I appreciate the heart me. Is my camera thing killing you guys? You do have to be sober, though. Mark Kelly went to fucking space, guys. He went to space. What did Pete Hegseth do in the Army? I'm going to type that up. What did Pete Hegseth do? Oh, what did Pete Hegseth's mom? Ooh. Let's see. See if I can move this out of the way. I can't see my computer screen. He drank. He did. Sorry. I'm sorry, SB. I get animated. What? Somebody say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not neglecting you, son. My son's in here now, guys. He thinks I'm neglecting him. Oh my God, this is crazy. Let's see. Pete Hegseth served. He held the rank of major and completed multiple deployments, including Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, and Afghanistan. He was a platoon leader in Iraq and taught counterinsurgency tactics in Afghanistan. Man, he did all of that. He did all of that. And he still couldn't land a primetime spot on Fox Entertainment. All right, guys, listen. In case y'all didn't know, I'm driving these people over here crazy on the tube of you. Yeah, SB, I've got an iPhone. Does that make me bad now that I have an iPhone?
Not that you're not going to, but we make sure to stay protected.
Yeah, I will. He was in the National Guard. No, I do want to. Yes, I want to stay up and wait for JJ to get home at 12 o'clock at night.
It's not gonna be that late.
I'm just teasing. Of course, I'll stay up, babe. He was in the National Guard, but when they get deployed, then they're active duty. Traitor to Android. The I in iPhone stands for ice. Shut up, Logan. I'll make SB deport you. Look, I'm going to say this about the iPhone, and we can have this debate if you guys want to. I'll have this iPhone debate with you. So I was an avid Android user until the iPhone 4 came out. And when the iPhone 4 came out, my work gave me one. And so I used it. I just got rid of my personal phone and I was using my work phone. And I got accustomed to using iPhones. I had to for work. And then I never went back. I've been on iPhone ever since. My first iPhone was iPhone 4. I do not follow Tennessee Brando. I will say this though, those Samsungs, I work with some guys that have those, and the cameras on those things are redonkulous. I'll do it. I'll do it. Once you go I, you never go A again. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna say it's just ease of, and also it's the blue text thing. I don't like the green text. Josh Wooden, what's up, man? Hey, that's the guy. He's on my YouTube right now. That guy, I work with him. His name's Josh. That dude takes some of the craziest. So when we're working on equipment or something, we're always taking pictures of it and stuff. They don't ever ask me to take pictures. They don't. They're just like, oh, he's got an iPhone. Ooh. Sincerely, the Mastros. Dude, he does get it, but I'll be honest with you. It's just you get used to certain things, you know? It's like we got used to democracy. Now we've got fascism. It's tough to get over. Look, MAGA's going to have to deal with us for a while till we get used to it, till we come around, you know? I'm not used to people supporting, you know, violations of the 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendment. iPhones are the Milwaukee of phones. That's funny. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So, didn't Trump like flip off some folks today? Let's get back to politics for a little bit. And if you guys are any type of, so we all use DeWalt tools, and we work with a guy who decided he wanted to get a Milwaukee hand drill that he saw, and the ribbing has not stopped yet. Yeah, Trump's flipping folks off. I mean, I don't really care about that. That doesn't bother me. Um, that's kind of expected. It is kind of expected, isn't it? That Trump would be one of those people who would not care what anybody else thought. Mary, that's not how presidents should act as well. It's not. Mary, that's yeah. How easily are we distracted from the Epstein files? How terrible is it that we have to be in these situations to realize? I mean, if you're going to distract people from a list of actual pedos, how terrible do the things you have to do to distract them be? They have to be horrific. They have to be abhorrent. I'm not saying that that they planned the attack. It was an inevitability. The murder of Renee Nicole Good was inevitable. When you put people in those types of high pressure situations for so long, someone is going to perish. That is what happens. That's just how it goes. And how the people on the left react is what he's hoping for. He is hoping. He's just been waiting for it. You know, it's just been a powder keg and he's just flicking lit cigarettes at it, just waiting for it to go off. Right? He's just waiting for that powder keg to go off. And guess what happened? Oh, guess what happens? We've got an ICE agent who gets emasculated by a tiny woman who just so happens to be a member of the LGBTQIA plus community. Oh, how infuriating is that? How infuriating is that for him? So he steps in front of her car. She turns her wheels. Boom. Yeah. It is the shot across the bow. It is the shot heard round the world. Because now we are a divided country in one major thing. Half of the country thinks that Renee Nicole Good was murdered in a horrific fashion in broad daylight by a federal agent. The other half of the country sees it as a justifiable homicide. I've often said that two things can be true at the same time, but I do not see how two things can be true in this situation. Either she was murdered or he was justified. All of my training, uh, all of the things that I have been through the course of my life have not prepared me for this moment. Because at what point does the left say no? This is it. I've been saying for a while, the time is now, guys. Now is the time. We have a Second Amendment for a reason. I'm not encouraging people to use violence. I'm not. But what I am saying is this. We have a Second Amendment. And the next time anybody kicks your door down and tries to take your family from you, I suggest you use it. The times now, we have to do something because apparently the impotent Democratic leaders aren't doing anything. What's up, Joe Cowan? No, I actually said that the other day. I said it was pitiful that it took, uh, yeah, it took. I think the biggest thing that has made people mad is the amount of angles with it, and the blatant lies of the defense. How they immediately went to the defense of Ross. What is his name? They went to his defense while J.D. Vance was up there defending him and saying that he had federal immunity. They were putting him in protective custody, him and his family. And yeah, SP, you're absolutely right. There have been people of color that have been being disenfranchised, that have been being locked up and tossed away into a fucking gulag in Florida, or shipped off to a gulag in a foreign nation, and then shipped off to a fucking concentration camp within our borders, on our soil, in our land. And then the next day, 2 more were killed. These are terrible things that are happening. But yeah, there is a lot of outrage. And the fact also, look, I'll say this. He should be charged with a hate crime. 100%. He should be charged with a hate crime. They did not perish. They did make it. And I'm glad that they did. But the fact that they were, and look, I have a lot of, look, guys, if y'all send me a video and I don't respond to you, I just want you to know I get sent a lot of videos. And so I might have seen your video, but I just didn't respond. And for that, I apologize. I'm a bad social media person. But someone sent me a video of an ICE agent pulling his weapon and putting it directly in the face of a person. And I don't even know what that person was. But that person was just standing there looking dead ass at them. And then another guy came up and put his shoulder on there and said, "They're filming." And he put his weapon away. People ask me, what can we do? We're not just going to line up in formation and charge the enemy. We can't do that. I don't believe we should be taking the high road. Yeah, we should get rid of him. We should impeach him. But we don't do that. It's the people that we elected. That's why at the beginning of my live stream, I was talking about when you're engaging about politics, you have to realize that, yes, you may hate the Democrats, you may hate the Republicans, but none of them are doing us any favors. We have elected. It's our fault that we have a lot of these asshats in there. It's our fault for still having 80-year-olds running our government. It is our fault because we elected them. And yes, you or I may not have voted for him or her. That doesn't matter. As a populace, we voted poorly. And we are the ones that are fucking around and finding out about it. It's not just the people that voted for them. We all face those consequences. And so my point is this, and this is why my message is this: vet your candidates. Make sure they are earning your vote. Make sure they're going to work for you and not corporate billionaires. And like I said earlier, politics is like Bill Cosby. Either we fucking or you fucking. You know? That's it. Politics plays a part in every aspect of your life. 100% every aspect of your life. We're not going to line up and get in formation and go pick a fight. That's not how that situation goes. You will lose. You have to be more strategic. You have to be more coy. You have to be more Sun Tzu. You have to have pinpoint accuracy. And it's got to be death by 1,000 paper cuts. So whatever it is that you can do to resist, whatever you can do to push back, do it. Because if enough of us do, then we'll make an impact. The original goal for the March for Democracy was 2.5 million people. Do you know why it was 2.5 million people? The reason I'm going to be there February 28th. I'm going to be at the March for Democracy. If you guys want to come out and see me out there, I'll be right along with the other vets out there. The reason it was is because we have 2.5 million men and women in the armed forces. We want those kinds of numbers out there. We want a legit swarming of people who are friendly, who are polite, who are peacefully protesting, because we know they don't want us to. They want us angry. They want us going out. They want us to look like the January Sixers with their weak asses getting up there, beating up cops, wiping shit on the walls. That's what the January Sixers did. They wiped literal feces on the walls. And you know what? That's what they want all of our protests to turn out to be, is that. But I'm tired of just protesting, guys. Because I don't think we've been made uncomfortable enough yet. And I don't want to get to that point. They should be. Because wars aren't fought with just brute force and won. You have to have intelligence to fight against people. You have to have planning and strategy and things like that. That's why the berserkers didn't take over the world. It's because they didn't have planning. They didn't have strategy. And half these fucking MAGA are goddamn gravy seals, man. High cholesterol, low libido, sacks of shit sitting on their fucking couch, eating their Cheetos, wearing their MAGA hat, wearing their MAGA shoes, talking on their MAGA phone, reading their Trump Bible. Yeah. I would love to be able to tell you on this app what I truly think we should do. I can't. I'll get kicked off. Resist ICE at every turn. Make their lives uncomfortable. Make ICE melt. Their megaphones never arrived. But again, I say this: the enemy is not our citizens. The enemy is not the people that that are walking around the streets with MAGA hats. They're just pawns. They don't have the bandwidth to understand half of the shit that they're arguing about. I've argued with them. I've had people on my panels. I've had two guests. I've been going live for a year and a half now. I've had two guests on my panel who were very intelligent, who were talking MAGA stuff, but they all have the same heart. They all have the same talking points. They all do. The mindset that they carry is a huge enemy, but the true enemy is not the people that are making $40,000 a year trying to live and support their families. The true enemy. Oh shit, guys, sorry. It's been a long day. The true enemy are those leaders that are up there. The ones that hear our cries and don't care. And it doesn't matter what letters on their name, because their actions have told me what their words couldn't. They're getting paid. They don't care. Oh, Darth's mom. MAGA's a hell of a cult. They hear our cries and do nothing. So who does that leave it up to? It leads it up to us. So what do? Do we attack our neighbor? No. They're still our neighbor. We're not only fighting for ourselves, guys, we're fighting for them as well. Let's say you have a mentally ill person in your family. Do you just abandon them when times get tough, or do you drag them along with you? Well, we're dragging MAGA along with us right now, because one of these days maybe they'll be broken from their spell. Yeah, absolutely. It's we the people, guys. We hold the power. There's way more of us than there are of them. Well, so here's the thing, Obama, and I've made some videos on this as well. This is one of my biggest talking points in regards to the racism that's here. Look, racism never went away. Racists were just scared to say who they were. Obama emboldened the racist. He didn't create them. They were already there. Trump just gave them a safe space. So now they're open about it. And that's a fact, guys. Obama didn't divide the country. He just brought the racist out in people. Now, Hall suddenly care about the Constitution. Get over yourselves. Dude, I've always cared about the Constitution. I took my oath over 25 years ago, bro. Oh, Dill Pickle. I don't know what your thing is, man. I'm talking about unity in here, and you're coming in here trying to besmirch people because they differ from you. I don't understand that, dude. I mean, okay, I'll agree with that. Yeah. Are you challenging my intelligence? Is that what you're doing? I feel like you're trying to challenge my intelligence. You have no idea what I did in the army, obviously. You have zero clue what I did. Fact. Chasing around federal agents is a felony. Fact. Stepping in front of someone's vehicle is stupidity. Phil, fact. ICE has no jurisdiction over American citizens. Fact. Those ICE officers were violating her Fourth Amendment right. You know, the one that talks about illegal search and seizure. Fact. Fact. ICE has been violating the Fifth and 14th Amendment since April. Fact. Well, what is it there, Dill Pickle? Are you wanting to talk about my intelligence, or you want to talk about my integrity, and are you wanting to talk about my ideology? Because those are three specifically different things. Hey, Stacy D, how are you? That is an American right, so that is kind of a violation of the First Amendment, isn't it? Oh, I forgot about that one. I pulled up the 4th, 5th, and the 14th. I forgot about the first. My fault. Yeah, yes. Dill Pickle, fact check me on something. Anything that you think that I said that was incorrect, please fact check me on that and just cite your source. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm just sitting here having some good conversation with these people. Actually, what I was doing, Stacy, is I was trying to talk about unity and how even though, and I triggered um, some people because I said um, they're holding us back from unity because they can't see the forest for all the trees. They can't see all the horrible things that this administration, this regime, if you will, is doing because they're too busy licking the boots. And so um, now they're coming in here and wanting to challenge everything that I say, which is fine. They can do that. They just don't have any ground to stand on. No, he hasn't done any research. If he had done any research, he would have known not to come into this live. Yeah, ICE does not have jurisdiction over American citizens. Do you know what ICE stands for? And look, if the first asshat that came in here, though, he was like, "You can't chase federal agents around with your car." Well, first and foremost, you're willfully ignorant at best if you believe that she was chasing him with her vehicle. I've watched the videos frame by frame, and at no point did she point her vehicle towards him. This guy, who had apparently, according to JD Shit My Pants, had PTSD from being drugged by a vehicle back in July, did the same shit that he got drugged for. And why do you think he did that? Because he was looking for an excuse to pull the trigger on someone who emasculated him. His little bitty tiny masculine energy there was so triggered because a woman, of all people, not only a woman that was a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, uh, was not afraid of him. That is why he did that. Because his little bitty tiny ego would not allow that to happen. It couldn't happen. I am the authority. You know why? Because he's never probably had a woman willingly touch him his entire life. That's why. He's probably one of those guys. Oh, I just got restricted. I got a restriction for suicide and self harm, and I didn't even say anything about that. And let's not even talk about the slogan, one of ours, all of yours, that Christy Nome put on there. That's a throwback to Nazi Germany. Fuck you, TikTok. That's a throwback to Nazi Germany. That's why, hey guys, real quick before I get banned off of here, come follow my YouTube, okay? I'm fixing to start going live there instead of coming here. And the gentleman has an immigrant wife. He has a mail order bride. That's what he has. She's from the Philippines. Yes, he married a lady from the Philippines. He did. Guys, follow me on the tube of you. I'm fixing to bounce off of here. Links in my bio. Um, look, If you guys want to start reporting me for stuff, start reporting me on YouTube, because you're not going to shut me down because I'm spitting facts. You're not going to stop me from speaking my mind as much as you would like to. You little cowards who cannot stand to have someone go against your cognitive dissonance. You are the people who say that you are the party of free speech, and still yet every time I say something that triggers your cognitive dissonance, you weak ass fucking cowards report my live. Why? Go get your own live then. Go get in your own little echo chamber there and make sure that everybody thinks like you think, so nobody has to fucking think. Fuck ICE. Fuck MAGA. Fuck Donald Trump. Deuces, guys. I'm out. Hey, friends. Here we go. I'm back. Hey, thanks, Night Sin. I appreciate it. I got to move this chat over here so I don't look like I'm reading on another screen. I've got too many screens up right now. That was fun. What bothers me, though, is TikTok is being captured by people who they want to make it a right-wing propaganda machine. They do. I'm glad to be here. It's different. It's unique for me to be on this platform doing lives. I don't have near as many followers over here. Did you like that ending? Yeah. It just pisses me off. I got a violation for political. And look, guys, I'm just going to say this. I've been holding this thing back pretty much all night. Thanks, Night Sin. But TikTok's getting captured. We're getting there, instead of just having a discussion. And look, I was calm the vast majority of the time in that live stream. I was calm. However, it doesn't matter how calm I am. Regardless of the facts that I speak, people are always going to try to report me, and they're going to try to shut me down. Dude, I'm telling you, yes. But we have a serious problem with the First Amendment on TikTok right now because it is under attack. And I love TikTok. I absolutely do. But you have Shlomo Kramer, you have Bibi Netanyahu specifically calling out TikTok, saying that it needs to be censored. It needs to be restricted in order to protect free speech. Why do they say that? They say that because, and look, here's the thing. Israel, for some reason, swings a big fucking stick. And thanks. I appreciate it. It just made me mad. It didn't make me mad. It's frustrating. I get reported for some crazy stuff in there. 2 nights ago on my live stream, I had 350 people in my room for probably 45 minutes, the first 45 minutes. And then I got my restriction. Oh, I don't know what the criteria is for getting a ban here, but I enjoy the fact that I can actually speak candidly. And I don't have to use words like pew pew or unalived. These are real words that are used in real world scenarios to where we shouldn't be getting censored from that. What we should be doing is promoting real speech instead of this fake whatever speech. But a conservative is going to buy TikTok. It's going to end up getting finalized. And then left-leaning creators are going to get shadow banned. They're not going to push you out on the FYP. The AI is going to be programmed to listen to specific words. They're going to restrict your viewership. They might not ban you altogether, but it's going to be like me. I get restrictions all the time. I hate the G-rated stuff. This is a situation right here where if regardless of what side of the aisle you sit on, if you support free speech, you should be against what's going on in TikTok right now. You should be against the fact that you can't use real words. However, I scrolled through a live the other day, a live stream, and there was a woman there. If you're talking about protecting the community, there was a woman on there. They won't get monetized either. There was a woman on there. I swear to God, um, barely had any clothes on and was twerking. And I'm like, how is that safe for the community? But if I say murder, I get a flag. If I say Nazi, I get a flag. And I'm talking about real world events, things that have happened. I don't understand how people can look at that, regardless of what political aisle you sit on. How can they look at that and say that this is what the founding fathers intended free speech to be? I don't have a problem with anybody saying anything, and literally anything, because the more vile shit you say, the more everyone around you is aware of who you are and why they need to stay away from you. It's in D.C. It's in Washington, D.C. It's a march to the Capitol. Bro, I bet she is. But here's the difference between you and that dude. You're not shooting people in the fucking face. I know you. You have empathy. Same, SB. You know what, SB? I started out on TikTok telling dad jokes and dirty jokes. I said a lot of dirty jokes. You can't even find those on my TikTok anymore. I've deleted them. And Ronald, if I said something that upset you on that, I wasn't meaning anything by it. I was replying to somebody else. I do get restricted a lot. I do get restricted a lot. There's a huge difference between you and that dude Russell. I'll say that. And I think I can do this on here. I'm not sure, but I went like a while without hitting my vape on TikTok a while ago because I was trying to be a good guy. I was trying not to get blasted. I was trying not to get restricted. And I'm glad she got a good laugh out of it, man. People in that, especially after I got that restriction, I got a restriction for suicidal behavior. Is what I've never seen that restriction before. Self-harm. Yeah. I've never seen that restriction before. It is frustrating. But if you go on the Book of Faces, and I don't know what your Book of Faces, your Facebook. If you go on Facebook, I don't know what your Facebook looks like, but my Facebook, maybe TikTok was warning you. Dude, I wasn't even vaping, bro. The fact that people, and I know sometimes it's because of things I say and the AI picks up on something I say. Facebook is such a cesspool It is. And look, I'm going to say this, Ronald. I'm about to offend you again, man. For those of you who don't know who Ronald is, I won't dox him on here, but I think you guys can probably guess who he is. Um, I don't block anybody, and that's the thing, because I want to know where they stand. It's like I've said several times. I want you, after this regime falls, to continue wearing your MAGA hat, to continue. Uh, I want you to continue with as much pride and confidence in how you respond to other. SP knows who Ronald is. I want you to do that. I want you to wear that MAGA hat out. I know you're not wrong. But Facebook, where I'm at, we have a lot of people who are just now trying to figure out the internet. We have a lot of people who are just now uh, realizing that every video they see isn't a real video. The AI is no, I understand that. I just don't block people, and just because I want to hear the things that are. I want you to show me exactly who you are. Is what I'm saying. I want you to show me exactly who you are. Well, it is, but and I do have a lot of followers on Facebook, but I know a vast majority of those people. I know them personally. And then it's heartbreaking to see them stand in support of a federal officer because they're a federal officer. What happened to the? We've said this, and there's memes going around that say this, so it's not my thought, but what happened to "Don't tread on me"? The same people who refused to wear masks because it could potentially save somebody's life, whether we knew the consequences or not. Oh, I know, because I had to re-add you here a while back on Facebook. Mine is between me and them, you and them. I got you. And look, SB, here's the thing. I don't know what it's like to be an indigenous woman. I don't. I am shockingly Caucasian. But the problem is the bots that put out the memes on Facebook, that put out the misinformation. Facebook is riddled with nothing but misinformation. So if that's your only source for news, and I hate to say this, but a vast majority of Americans only get their news from social media. Yeah, I get you. My mother, bless her heart, I love that woman. She's my favorite human, you know, outside of my wife and my kids, of course. But she posted something during when we had a bunch of Syrian refugees. There was a lot of misinformation that was being touted on Facebook, and she shared a post, and it was about um, man walks in and finds um, two Syrian refugees raping his daughter, kills them both, and is arrested and sentenced to life in prison. And the like people from my community where I was from, they do need to read books again. We're saying set him free, justice was served, and my mom was all up on it. And I told her, I said, Mom, that's not true. That never happened. She's like, well, I mean, it's a good story. And I'm like, no, it may be a good story, but it's unfactual. And what you've done is now you've put people in harm's way Because now these people who are already suffering, who are already having a hard time, could possibly be good people, but now they're going to be judged based on some made up story, some made up narrative. And I told her, I said, think about this, Mom. Think about somebody putting a meme up on Facebook, a GIF or whatever, and it says, you post saying that Trump stuff just to piss your dad off. That's funny. I said, what if somebody posted something hateful that would make people fearmonger against overweight smokers, uh, an overweight 70-year-old smoker? You know, would that make you feel triggered? Where people are like, they need to die. Somebody should kill all the fat, overweight female smokers. You know? She's like, well, I didn't do nothing. I said, yeah, those Syrian refugees didn't do anything either, and they didn't. Is it possible that we have a situation like that? There are people that are going to take advantage and do bad things. Yeah, there are bad people in this world. It doesn't mean that you can lump everybody into one hole and say this applies to all. You just can't. Hey, to my 6 viewers in here right now, I just want to say thank you guys. Y'all are the real G's right here. Y'all are it. I appreciate each and every one of you. This was fun. This was my first. I downloaded a new app to where I could live stream on that and other apps simultaneously, and I will be doing that eventually. Because I have 3 screens here plus my phone, so I guess technically 4. So I'm going to start doing this more, and I'm actually thinking about. I'm trying to figure out how to use TikTok Studio to go live on my PC. Um, I don't know how you do that, to be honest with you. Ooh, The Conjuring 4. They've got a 4th one out. What's the actual title of it, SB? I think I may have seen it. Me and Logan watched a bunch of that stuff, a bunch of those. My favorite one though, um, Sinister. Sinister was my favorite. I'm glad you loved my rants. Sinister was so fucking good. Like, I don't believe in any of that shit, and Sinister had me questioning some stuff. We have watched Last Rites, yes. We have watched Last Rites. I'm waiting to watch Fallout on a night when Logan's not working. Because when he was little, uh, we used to always watch those movies, those shows together, or whatever. And now he's pretty much a grown man, so I don't ever get those opportunities very much. And me and Rachel are dying, wanting to watch it. So Rachel gets upset with me when I tell this story, but I have a friend who's indigenous. She is 100% whatever. Oh, guys, y'all get to see you get to see how the sausage is made right here. Not a bad hairline for a 50-year-old man. Um, yeah, this is what I look like without a hat on. It looks like I'm going bald there, but I'm really not. Um, anyway, you can like here too, yes. Um, I don't know how many likes I've got though. I don't see where I can see how many likes I've got. But anyway, doesn't matter. Um, there was a time where I was having to stay in town, and I lived far away, and it was after my dad had passed, and me and her were real good friends. I know it does kind of feel like we're on FaceTime. So anyway, we decided we were drunk one night, and we decided we were going to go get tattoos. And she was like, "Ooh, I'm going to get this." I don't remember what it was, like something really girly. And I was like, "I'm getting an owl tattoo." Oh my god, you would have thought I spat on her grandmother when I told her I was getting an owl tattoo. She was like, I forbid you from getting an owl tattoo." I was like, "Why?" I said, "Owls are badass." She's like, "Yeah." See? No, you can't get an owl tattoo. Now, wait, now, see, are you in Oklahoma? Where are you at? I don't want you to be afraid, though. I want to say that. I haven't. I'll need to check that out. Is that like a documentary or something? Or Missouri? Okay, yeah, yeah. See, you're just north of me. I thought we bordered each other, but anyway, um, don't be afraid. Just be prepared. Preparation will stop a lot of that. Preparation will solve a lot of your anxiety, because once you've prepared yourself for the potentiality of events, then you have nothing to fear. Fear of death is worse than death itself, and I believe that to be true. So as long as you stay prepared, and look, I'm not telling you to go strapped all the time. It's a TV show. Okay. Do you know what platform that's on? I'd be interested in watching that. Are they on a reservation? Ah, see, that's where they get you too. It's on Hulu. Cool. We actually have that one. I will check that out, SB. I will. That interests me, especially after me and Marie got to be really close. And look, we weren't like dating or anything. We were just friends, and it was. Um, I really value her friendship. You'll be. It's funny as fuck. You'll be cracking up. Oh, good. I like that. Um, it's just a different perspective. I love meeting people with a different culture, different ethnicities, whatever, and talking with them. I have um, a good friend that I work with, and he's black, and we've talked a lot about religion. Probably so. It's possible, absolutely possible. Um, but we were talking about religion the other day, and he was talking about how uh, he was curious what his native religion would have been, and why is Christianity good if the white man gave it to him. And that's an interesting perspective that I've never even actually considered, even though I've thought about the implications of being a Christian as a slave. You know, it makes sense that they would force Christianity on someone, especially with the changes in the Bible that tell you have to be a good slave, you have to obey your master. It's just an interesting perspective, which has made me want to research more of the Native African religions that, of the uh, of those that were taken during the slave trade. Yes, thank you, Not Sin. I will, guys. I am going to get off here though. It is late. I am tired. I've got to get up and go in early tomorrow. I work nearly 12 hours today, um, and I'll probably have to work another close to that tomorrow. So, guys, good night. And I don't even know how to stop this stream. I will see y'all tomorrow, though. I'll jump on live for a little bit tomorrow, and I'm going to do this platform as well. I'm going to start going live on here every time I go live on, yeah, as it should be. Raylan, bro, Jesus. That Great Dane's farting over there, guys. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good night. I will see y'all tomorrow.